Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode on Life at Emerson. I'm your host Jade Bontron, and let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode on Life at Emerson. Today I'm here with
Bryce Holland.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the Unbranded. So how does the Unbranded work?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that goes into the Unbranded. We have a lot of leaders in our group, but we make a lot of different shows. And our whole purpose of the Unbranded is to cover everything, school news, sports, all that different stuff to the audience and to the school so that people know kind of what's going on in Emerson and just all that different stuff. So we normally make, I'd say, a show every other week or every 2 weeks, but we alternate. So one person will be working on a show, and then another person will be working on a show, and then it kind of just goes back and forth. We almost have like 2 groups.
Okay.
But it's kind of random. It's like one group will do it, and then another group will do it. But it's like you have shows every 2 weeks. So you're on one show, and then you're off, and then you're on, and then you're off. And
Okay.
that's till the end of the year.
Nice. What made you want to be a part of the Unbranded?
Well, I've always had a big interest in sports and media and broadcast, so I think that's the main reason. And yeah, I've just always loved content creation and video editing and filming, and I've gotten pretty good at interviewing people, so I think it's definitely an interest in mine in a lot of different areas.
Nice. The Unbranded is always really interesting when I watch it on halftime.
Glad to hear it.
In the future, would you like to do videoing like you do now, or is it just like something you want to do in high school?
Well, so in the future, I want to pursue in sports broadcasting, and so this is kind of the first steps to it. Once you go from your school broadcast, I'm actually taking a program next year at the CTE. It's Practicum in Sports Broadcasting.
Nice.
And then after that, I'm going to go to college, major in sports broadcasting, and so that's kind of my plan for it. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in that kind of media area of it.
Nice. How do you come up with ideas like for each Unbranded? Like how does that planning go into that?
Yeah, well, it definitely can be a struggle at times. I think the main thing that we look for is we kind of look and see, okay, what's happening around the school? What sports are going on? What events are going on? What stuff is going on around the school? And we kind of just pick off that. And it definitely can be hard sometimes, especially when there's nothing going on. We're like, what are we going to do for the Unbranded this time? But we just kind of go through it week by week, and especially in the fall, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, that's true.
Football and everything. I know Majestics, y'all do a lot of stuff. Color Guard. There's all sorts of different clubs and organizations that we can cover.
Yeah.
And we've even covered stuff like foreign exchange students. And so we cover a lot.
Yeah.
School-wise.
Who runs like the Unbranded, or like what's everyone's role if y'all have some?
Yeah, so we have a lot of different roles here at the Unbranded. We have an executive producer, an associate producer. Depends. We might have a technical director, and then we have our broadcast advisor, which of course is Ms. Toller.
Okay.
So those are the main 4, and then everybody else is just like a staff reporter.
Okay.
So I'm fortunate enough, I'm actually going to be able to be the associate producer next year.
Nice.
And
congrats.
So, thank you. I'm happy about that for sure. But those are kind of the roles and kind of who runs the Unbranded.
Okay. Nice. And then what is one of your favorite memories from filming this past year?
I have a few. I'd say my favorite memory for the Unbranded specifically would be probably the first week of football season, because we were privileged enough to go film the first varsity game against McKinney at the Star, and so that
on
was
the
really
fields.
fun. Yeah, on the field.
I
We got
saw
to
it
go on
on
the
the-
sideline. Yeah,
Yes,
that was
that's
really
always
fun.
fun.
Yeah, and then we also got to interview a top prospect who's currently at the University of Oklahoma right now with his brother Mike and Malik. I'm sure you've heard of them.
Yes, I have.
So yeah, I definitely know them. I've gotten to talk to both of them, so it's pretty cool. And then we also went to the broadcast competition
I did
a
see
few
that.
weeks ago, and we won first place.
Congrats.
So, not overall, but my partner and I won first place for general news package.
Congrats.
So that was fun. Thank you. So I'd say that, the broadcast comp, and then the football segment. That was a really fun one to make, the football segment, because I love sports.
Yes, that sounds like really fun memories from this past year. How do you balance your life as being a part of broadcast and also the Unbranded?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm glad you asked that. I would say just taking it one day at a time and not worrying. I know it's tough to not worry, because in broadcast, with anything, you have a lot going on that people don't really see.
Right.
And so you just have to take it day by day and think, okay, what can I do today to get better and improve and get closer to finishing this segment or whatever you have to do. And it can definitely be overwhelming sometimes because we have to go outside of school to film different events and games, and during power hour to get interviews sometimes. So that's definitely one thing. But it's hard to balance it, but if you just take it day by day and learn not to overcomplicate things, that's another big one. It's definitely easier to handle.
I like your mentality for that, because that can also be hard, just balancing two things that are like both big things.
Yeah.
What is one of the hardest parts about the Unbranded?
Oof, that's a really tough one. The hardest part for me, it really depends on segment to segment, but I would say overall it's meeting your deadlines. And thinking, okay, what do we have to do today? Do we have to get interviews, B-roll, any kind of footage? Do we have to edit today? You know, there's a lot of different stuff, like I said, that goes into it. And so just meeting your mini deadlines, because we have a big deadline at the end. Shows due today, and it comes up faster than you think.
Yeah.
And so, but it really depends on the segment that you're making. If you're making a new segment, okay, who do we have to get interviews for? How do we sequence this to make it look good and sound good to the audience who's watching it?
Yeah.
If you're making a Mavs in the hallway, it's more of, okay, I have all this good footage, but now I have to get it down to 2 minutes, and that can be really challenging sometimes.
Yes. That does sound kind of challenging. Well, thank you for talking with us about the Unbranded, and I hope this whole year has been good and just great overall, and also y'all are doing great with the Unbranded, and thank you for starring in my last podcast.
Yeah, no problem. It was great. Appreciate it a lot.
Thank you for listening, and go check out the Unbranded or watch whenever they come out.